Hello, I'm Rosella. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I want to show you something I'm really pleased with, and that's my tassel maker. So that's the Stitching in the Moment, a tassel maker. Now, when you purchase one of these, you will get instructions showing you exactly what to do step by step. However, if you're like me, it just makes it a whole lot easier if somebody shows you. So put those out of the way. So one of the things that I really wanted to do when I designed this was to enable you to leave your thread either on a thread tidies I've got here, or on the skein or the ball, whatever it is that you're actually using, whether it be wool or string. So I've allowed you to do that. What I've also done is given you the choice of sizes, so you can have longer tassels and you can have a medium-sized tassel, or you could have shorter tassels. And if you're interested, this is my own panel fabric, and you can find that on my website, Stitching in the Moment. So let me show you how they're made. So the first thing you want to do is to get your thread, and you want to cut a little bit of thread off. So let's go, I think I've said about 20 centimetres, that's going to give you plenty. So you're going to just take this thread and cut that from it. And then this is a stranded cotton, so I'm going to split it. If you're using a non-splittable thread, that's absolutely fine. Cut 2 lengths. I'm trying to split it evenly. I've got 3 there. Yep. So let's just split that. Lay one of these pieces aside, and then the other one, we now need to decide how big we would like our tassels. So on this, I think I'll go for full length. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to anchor this thread in the slits that are on the Tassel Maker at the top. This one's a new one, so it's a little bit stiff still. So you've got your thread there. That's actually the thread that's going to become at the top of the hanger of the tassel. So let's leave that in place. Then all we need to do now is wrap our tassel. Let's just loosen a bit of this thread ready. And then I'm going to anchor my thread at the bottom of the tassel. So if I'm going to have a full length tassel, I'm just going to anchor the thread at the side here, and that's just to keep the working thread out of the way and keep it under control whilst I'm wrapping. I can't wrap backwards, so it's got to come to me. So all I'm going to do now, let's get rid of that, is just wrap my thread as many times as I want. So let's just loose a bit more thread. And because I'm stitching lots of lavender at the moment, because one of the panels is lavender, I'm going to go for a purple tassel because I know that's going to be really useful to me. Now obviously you can cut the size of the tassels down if you wish once you've made them, but you've got the opportunity to make really quite a large one here, so no excuse not to have tassels everywhere in the home. Great on curtain tiebacks, etc. So that'll do, that's enough wraps for what I need right now. So what I'm going to do now is anchor my working end at one of these other slits. Again, it keeps it out of the way whilst I'm tying. Now it needs to be anchored at the bottom, because if you anchor it further up, you're going to have a tassel with a little bit of a short thread there. So anchor it at the bottom and then cut your working thread off. Put that to the side, you don't need that now. Then what you're going to do is that other little bit of thread that you laid aside, that's going to go around your neck. So all you're going to do is feed one end through one side and one end around the other. Let me just show you what I've done on that. So it's just around the neck there, and excuse me, I'm going to tie a knot in that. Now this knot's probably going to want adjusting once you've taken the tassel off the Tassel Maker, but it's going to keep it all under control whilst we do that. So let's just tie a knot on that. I've just got just a double knot will do. I can tighten that up in a bit. Okay, so it's ready to come off virtually. Let's just tie that top, and that's got, then I know that my hanger's through there, so I can release the thread from my tight Tassel Maker on this side. There we go, on that side. So I've released my thread, and I'm just going to tie a knot in that. And that means then that I can attach the tassel to one of my projects. If you don't want to attach your tassel, you don't need to do this stage, of course, but make sure if you are that you've left some quite nice long ends so that you can thread that up and attach it to your project really easily. And then what you're going to do now is you're going to release your anchored ends, and then you can slide the tassel off the Tassel Maker. Maybe don't need to do it quite as tight as I've done this one, but there we go. And as you use your Tassel Maker, these slits will loosen ever so slightly. So you've now got the bare bones of your tassel there. Now these threads around the neck, I said that I wanted to tighten those up because that's a little bit loose. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie another knot, maybe wrap it round just to make a nice neat finish. So these loose ends I'm just going to fix to my Tassel Maker to keep them out of the way. So you sit there, out the way there, whilst I then tie this a little bit tighter around the neck and put a couple more wraps on there. So let's just pull that nice and tight, and we'll wrap it round a couple of times. I've lost that now, come on, where'd you go? And maybe once more. I quite like that sort of ring of thread that goes around the neck of a tassel. I'm sorry, I have to put my finger on here to hold this, so I can't show you this until I've actually physically tied it. There we go, let's just take that from the Tassel Maker. So now I've got a nice tight ring around the neck. So what I can do now is just cut the tassel at the bottom, because I've got loops at the moment. So let's just cut those off and give it a haircut if it needs it. I think we've got a couple of long bits there. So my tassel's now pretty much made. Now one thing I really do like to do on my tassels, this is the thread that went around the neck. And because we've tied it around, it tends to stick out a little bit of an angle there. I mean, you could tease it down so that it hangs quite flat, but what I do is I actually thread that into a needle. So, excuse me, I'm just going to thread this into a needle, my #1 filmmaker. If you could look away whilst I lick my thread, please. Look at something else. My knees, there, go and look at my Tassel Maker. Isn't that pretty? That's lovely. And for those of you that know me, you know that my #1 filmmaker is Franny. Are you going to say hello, Franny? No, she's not. Okay, you can come back now, first that. So I threaded up one of those ends, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to feed it from the top down inside that tassel. And then that just means that that loose thread's within the tassel and it doesn't stick out at the side. And I'm going to do the same again. Franny, going to find a different shot for this one. Down you go. I can hear Bowser barking outside, goodness me. It's a Sunday morning, it's all going our house. Okay, I'm good to go. I've threaded that one back up, and again, let's just ease that into the centre of that tassel. And I just think it gives it a little bit more of a professional finish. Try not to lose that needle. And then let's just give those 2 extra threads a haircut as well. And that one. And there we have. And then you could brush that tassel, you could separate those strands. You could also make them in different materials, and you can see I've got one here that's made in string, which I think is rather nice, gives it a bit of a rustic feel. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoy your Tassel Maker. Please share tassels everywhere. I expect everyone to be wearing tassel earrings, maybe tassel necklaces, and let me know how you get on. If you've got any questions, you can contact me always. Just search Rosella Cottrell on Facebook and you'll find me. Thank you very much for watching.